about his crazy off seasons he's been having and also calls out Adam Gase and Joe Douglas. Let's get started. Alright, so I actually had not read the article, so I kind of was going to do a video where I kind of read the article, and after a couple of paragraphs, I kind of talk about what the paragraphs kind of meant. Kind of like I'm in school and the teacher reads the paragraph and like you have to discuss about the paragraph with your group or something. I don't know, but I thought this would be very interesting. Also, Ashton Davis signed his contract. I was just going to make a short little 2-minute video about this today, but then Jamal Adams decided to do something. I always tell people, yeah, I'm making a video about this today unless Jamal Adams does something stupid, so there's that. But anyway, let's go on to the first sentence. The surreal saga between the Jets and Jamal Adams might be coming to an end. 7 months after Adams capped off an all-pro season that vaulted him into superstardom, General Manager Joe Douglas has told one of the game's most dynamic players that he's open to trading him before the start of the season. So Joe Douglas apparently told Jamal Adams that he probably might get traded at the start of the season. So before the start of the 2020 season, all right? Adams confirmed to the Daily News on Thursday that the Jets GM has indeed conveyed his willingness to move the team's best player if the right deal presents itself after intense economy this offseason. However, the Jets still have not given Adams camp permission to discuss trade parameters with interested teams. Okay. Although they say they have not given Jamal Adams permission to seek trades by himself. He's basically been doing that the whole offseason. Gave Adam Schefter a list of teams he would be open to be traded to, talking to Dallas Cowboy fans saying that he's trying to come to Dallas. And he's been just doing stuff on Twitter that points to where he wants to go. I mean, it's obvious we know where he wants to go now, one of those 7 teams. So he's kind of cheating it a bit. I don't know. The news has uncovered details of how Douglas made a series of bizarre decisions that created a cavernous divide between the organization and their biggest star. It's definitely mixed feelings. Adams told the news in his first comments amid the contract's stalemate. But at the end of the day, my happiness is more important. I know my worth. I'm going to stand on my beliefs. I'm going to stand on who I am as a person. And I'm not ever going to change who I am for someone who's judging me. Either you accept me for who I am and you work with me and support me, or you don't. It's okay if you don't. So, that's kind of weird. I mean, mixed feelings. He knows what he's worth. Thinks he's worth like 17, 18, 19, $20 million. I mean, that's like mega money, man. You're probably worth 15 million. 60 million max. I wouldn't pay 20 million for a safety. Douglas' curious communication coupled with Adams' eroding relationship with head coach Adam Gase created a tension that bubbled to the surface. The news first reported last month that Adams had requested permission to seek a trade, citing that Gase was one factor why the 2-time Pro Bowler felt uncomfortable with his long-term future with the team. So this is kind of getting on to some more Adam Gase stuff. Now, a lot of Jets fans don't like Adam Gase because he wasn't that great of a head coach. Some people believe that he's lost some sides of the locker room, but I mean he's obviously got some respect for players like Le'Veon Bell and Alex Lewis. I think really respect Coach Gase. So there's something. I don't feel like he's the right leader. This is Adams on Gase. I don't feel like he's the right leader for this organization to reach the promised land, Adams said. As a leader, what really bothers me is that he doesn't have a relationship with everyone in the building. At the end of the day, he doesn't address the team, Adams added. If there's a problem in the locker room, he lets another coach address the team. If we're playing and we're losing, he doesn't address the entire team as a group at halftime. He'll walk out of the locker room and let another coach handle it. So basically, Jamal Adams is calling Adam Gase. A lot of people thought he was a horrible coach. Some guy even had like a plane carry this fire Gase sign, and there was petitions started and everything. And then he just turned the whole team around. Or maybe that was Sam Darnold, or maybe that was Jamal Adams. Who knows? But anyway, Adams is just saying that Gase is a horrible coach. He doesn't do stuff. As you know, last year we never made really any big halftime adjustments. And just there's that. So my theory is that Gase, Jamal Adams is calling out a bunch of the Jets people. He's called out Adam Gase, and he's also called out Woody Johnson. And basically, I think he might be just saying this stuff to make people on the team even hate him even more. And basically, he wants to get traded now. So there's that. But what's also funny is that he wants to report to training camp with. Connor Hughes had an amazing tweet about it. We'll talk about it at the end of the video. All right. Gase recently claimed that his relationship with Adams has been good since the time I've gotten here, and there's been a lot of dialogue between us. Appears to be the latest a series of exaggerations and or prefabrications. Adams told the news that he hasn't spoken to Gase since his exit interview on the day at the end of the regular season, December 30th. Woo! Wow. Gase did not respond to a message or comment. Now, also, we got to take this article not very seriously because you want to know who wrote it? Manish Mehta. That's right, our good old friend Manish Mehta. So, yeah, half of this stuff could be false because everything Manish Mehta does is horrible. Not everything, a lot of stuff. The player-coach relationship notwithstanding, Adams was taken aback by a series of events with Douglas this offseason. The timeline reveals a disjointed organization plan filled with contraction, poor communication, stonewalling, encouragement, a deep mistrust of Adams. If they would have just simply said, you know what, Jamal, we're not going to look to pay you this year. We want to keep adding players. I would have respected that more, Adams said. I would say, you know what, I respect it. As a man, I get it. I understand it's a business. But for them to tell me they're going to pay me and not send over a proposal after they said that's what they were going to do, that's where we go wrong. And then for you to ignore me, that's why I had my problems. So apparently Jamal Adams doesn't understand that, the Jets wanted to sign more players. Obviously we were going to do that no matter what. And we also had intentions of signing you. You didn't have to just take it to a whole nother level. The Jets obviously wanted to sign you, but we have so much concerns with the 2020 cap. We don't even have fans coming to the season, fans coming to games, which, that's bad. So, he just doesn't get it. He just doesn't get that we want to sign him, just not now. We want to sign him next season. Because, may I remind you, Jamal, you have 2 years left on your contract. You have 2 years left on your contract. So, yeah. So, what really happened? The details are disturbing on myriad levels. So, in January, Douglas told Adams camp that he would go to the ownership management to initiate the process to craft the first proposal for the contract extension. It seemed promising until fissures appeared. When no proposal arrived weeks later, the sides agreed to pick up on discussions at the scouting combine in February, where Douglas announced that he wanted Adams to be a Jet for life. But there was no progress. Something seemed amiss to Adams. Douglas explicitly pivoted after the combine. The forthcoming first offer was replaced with this message to Adams camp in the run up into free agency. We're going to get him better players. We did get him, Jamal, some pretty good players, surround players. The news reported at the time that the Jets had been telling people that they had cash flow restrictions during free agency. The result was predictable. Douglas signed a lengthy second and third tier players to one or de facto 1-year deals, ending suggesting that the pandemic played a role in the Jets' offseason strategy was a red herring. The reality is that the Johnsons set a tight budget this offseason long before anyone became aware of the pandemic. So obviously, the Johnsons, set a tight budget for the offseason, which might probably explain why we signed a bunch of players and didn't go after some heavy hitters. We could have signed Jack Conklin. He's not the greatest. He's pretty overrated. But, we could have signed some very top-tier players, but instead we decided to go on a tight budget and only sign some, backups or good players who were all right and all that kind of stuff. And maybe that's why we didn't give Jamal Adams a mega-tier deal. And also, if Gary Vee were to decide to buy the team, I don't think he would have set that tight budget. Meanwhile, Adams waited to receive the initial proposal that Douglas promised in January. Free agency came and went with the draft approaching. Adams understandably wanted a status report. Douglas publicly said that he would address Adams' situation after the draft rather than tell Adams camp privately. It was a peculiar tactic. When the draft was over, Douglas came out of deliberation to let Team Adams know that he wanted to talk. Optimism swelled despite the rocky first 2 months. Surely a first offer was on the way. However, the conversation in early May took a bizarre turn. Rather than take a first offer, Douglas said the team wanted to table contract talks until next offseason. In the meantime, the powers that he wanted to monitor Adams to see if he was all in with the Jets and all in with football. The GM wanted Adams to prove his loyalty to the franchise. Adams felt like he had entered the twilight zone. Monitor him, why? He had already exhibited a mechanical work ethic and produced more than anyone on the team for 3 years. He had never gotten into any trouble. He was heart and soul for this crossfire franchise. He was a shining light. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy. Douglas wanted to monitor Adams. I mean, this whole story could be cat, but I mean, it also could not be. I don't know. Monitor him. It didn't make sense on a logical level. It was very insulting, Adams said. You know, I bust for the organization every day. I work my butt off for them to say to me. I was like, okay, whoa, that was a little bit too far. Adams was understandably perturbed, but hoped that time would calm the situation. It did not. The GM's position has shifted to this. Is Jamal going to honor his rookie contract or not? Douglas' inexperience in high-stakes negotiations was painfully obvious. He had changed his message too many times to remember, jumping from one stance to the next over the course of 5 months, alternating the team's best player along the way. Douglas did not respond to requests for a comment. Why would Joe come out and say, we want to make Jamal a Jet for life? Why would you say that and then not give me an offer? Don't BS me. I'm a straightforward guy. You don't have to BS me because I'm going to keep it honest. So Jamal, obviously, we can see where he's coming to be pissed. Joe Douglas promised him a kind of contract, a contract proposal. He waited a couple months, and then he waited more months, and then finally there was nothing. And then he decides to monitor him after he's been nothing but amazing to this program for 3 years. I mean, organization, not program. We're not in college. But it's like, he's done amazing work for this team. And then finally, he's just going to monitor him. And then it's like, what? Nothing. It's just all crazy. Because, I mean, Jamal Adams never did anything bad off the field or, on. I mean, he did have a couple hits. I may say that, but it's on the field. But anyway, it's just crazy. The animosity was strong. And wait, okay, I didn't read this first paragraph about that. Why would Joe come out? Oh, I did read that. Sorry. The animosity was strong. The divide needlessly manufactured by an inexperienced negotiator who appeared out of the steps. When Adams decided that he wanted permission to seek a trade last month, Douglas levied the final insult. If Jamal keeps acting the way he's acting, nobody's going to want him. Adams was a two-time team MVP, a respected leader, and the emotional engine that wanted to turn around a wayward franchise. Now, he had been marginalized by the team decision-makers who inexplicably let it all spiral out of control. In the span of 6 months, Douglas went from promising to send over a first contract proposal, pretending as if he had never made such a promise. Which would have been an affront to any person in Adams' position. Meanwhile, Jets fans were caught in the middle. I love the Jets. This is funny. What he's about to read is just hilarious. I love the Jets fan base, Adams said. It's so strong, they're very passionate, and it goes along with my personality. If they don't like something, they speak about it. Just like I speak about it. I have nothing but love, which she spelled Love, not O-U-V, which is surprising, for Jets fans. I have nothing but love and respect for Jets fans. There's some loyal fans as far as sticking with the team. Showing up to games, wearing jerseys, I respect it. But when an organization starts to disrespect you like this, it's just time to move on. And it has nothing to do with the fans, even though you blocked about 1 million of them. I mean, come on, Jamal. You block so many people on Twitter and Instagram. You would just look up Jamal Adams on Twitter, and then anyone that said anything negative about you, block. man, that is crazy. The entire offseason has taken its toll on Adams, too. The happiness is way more important than the rest of this, Adams said. I can't deal with all that anymore. It's draining. Whether or not Douglas is able to trade Adams in the coming days or weeks remains to be seen. Regardless, Adams will report to the start of training camp when veterans are scheduled to arrive on July 28th. Yeah. So that's almost it for the article, but we have like 2 more paragraphs. I'm showing up for my teammates, Adams said. Obviously, my love and passion for the game is very simple. You just turn on the tape and watch. No matter if you're winning or we're losing or we're getting blown out, I'm still the same guy. I won't change my tempo as far as how I play on the field. I never slow down. At the end of the day, I'm trying to be the greatest player to ever play the game at my position, or at least one of them. That's my goal. I won't let anybody knock me off of that goal. I want to win, Adams said. I want to be with an organization that wants to win and do things the right way. So, obviously, by that last statement, he wants to be with a Super Bowl caliber team, and he wants to do things the right way, obviously noting to Woody Johnson and everything that he did. So, that was pretty crazy. Now, fun fact, this article was written by Manny Schmidt. I already said that, but that could make it a little bit more. But Adams basically, caused by Joe Douglas, said that he was doing a horrible job of managing his contract, even though he promised a proposal. And then Adam Gase said that he just does a horrible job at leading this franchise and, honestly, doesn't, have respect for him. So this is just crazy about all this Jamal Adams stuff. Wish he would just forget about everything and go away. But yet, he still wants to come to training camp after he said those things about Adam Gase. Like, Adam Gase Adam Gase doesn't call defense plays. That's Greg Williams' job. So, yeah, I don't really know what to think. I mean, Jamal Adams obviously doesn't want to be on the team. He wants a new contract. The only way he wants to stay on the team is by a new contract. But may I remind you that if you hold out for the season, you basically don't gain anything at all. I think you lose like $40,000 a day or something. It's insane. But, I mean, Adams obviously just wants to be traded or get a new contract. One of the other things. Or, Gase to be fired. That Chiefs offensive coordinator is fantastic. Lincoln Riley is pretty good. Coach Joe from LSU, I think he just got an extension. But, I don't know what to think about all of this. This is just some pretty crazy stuff. What do you guys think about all this Jamal Adams drama and stuff going on? Do you think he should stay with the Jets? Do you think he should be traded? Do you think he should hold out? I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. If you are returning, welcome back. I love having you here. If this is your first time watching the New York Jets News channel, I hope you enjoyed your experience and you might even consider subscribing. I got my new setup. Hey, jazz hands. Boom, microphone. It doesn't work. It's just a show. Okay. Boom, Knives Out poster. Knives Out is my favorite movie, if you didn't know. Boom, I got these tickets. Boom, I got this cool little office sign thing. Got my shelves too. Just have a couple pots. This is a signed helmet by, you know what, I'm just not going to tell you about everything because I am going to be doing a new background video on Sunday because Sunday there's nothing to post. I even went out of my boundaries and posted a 24-hour challenge in a car. A 24-hour overnight challenge in a car. In a car. I did that well, technically I didn't do it for fun because it wasn't fun. Just sleeping in a car. I did do it for fun, but my friend Evan just wanted someone to do it with him, so I said, why not? But, yeah, you will see close-ups on everything in Sunday's video, and, probably, I might show some stuff on Insta, and, please note that I will be, I'm just not going to say anything about my background until Sunday. I just got to stop spoiling stuff. But anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, go Jets. Peace!